SwissBorg is the official partner of my channel where you can buy, sell, hold and more importantly stake your cryptocurrencies. You can even earn yield on your stablecoins. Sign up with my link and you'll earn up to $100 worth of their native token CHSB just for depositing €50 worth of crypto. SwissBorg. Hello everybody, welcome back. Sorry I didn't get a video made yesterday. Sometimes just life gets in the way, doesn't it? So let's get into something different. We're going to talk about XRP today because XRP definitely is looking different to a lot of the other altcoins, and I've recognised something on the chart, on the weekly chart, that actually makes it is doing something that it's never done before, and that's not a clickbait title. That's reality. It has actually done something that it's never done before. So before we look at that, we'll just show you what it generally does do. And what it has done before, which is basically completed a cycle. It's quite an old altcoin, this XRP. So it's been around for a while. It's one of the reasons we like it, because it responds to signals, because all indicators are based around price, volume and time. The time aspect being important for XRP because it is, well, I mean, this is only one chart. It dates back to 2013. So it's not long before it celebrates its 10-year anniversary. Who would have thought? So, but this is the normal vibe. This is the normal situation for XRP. So a big move up. We're on a log scale, by the way. Big move up and long period of consolidation. So peak to the low and the breakout. It's best part of 3 years basically. So just show you that there. So there we go. 826 days. Then it starts its next parabolic peak, and then from the peak to the low. Or from the breakout, should we say, so to the low, 800 days or so, 900 days, fair play, and then another big peak. This wasn't a new all-time high, unfortunately, but it was another big peak. And again, then you go into a period of consolidation. The last two lasted around 800 days. So far, XRP has been in this consolidation for about 500 days. And again, 800 days would bring us somewhere into mid 2023, roughly, and again roughly. Now that's based on this previous cycle. So again, cycles break, whether they break out or break down. Sometimes cycles break. One thing we get to take away from crypto is that actually, even if we think about Bitcoin, it's not the oldest thing in the world. And so obviously cycles can break. Bitcoin's got its 4-year cycle. You could make the case that XRP's got a 4-year cycle as well. It just works differently, but it does seem to span 4 years. No surprise there. So that is the normal situation, and things get really bullish and interesting when we break out of these giant descending triangles. So it's easy to see. You can see that. So that's what we'd expect. We'd expect this to run down into some point May 2023 or something like that, May, June, July, some point around then, where the bull market would have already started, by the way, hopefully by Bitcoin standards. But just as we saw in the last bull market, we had a little bit of move up, but we're still stuck within the triangle. So this is the expectation for XRP. This is the general expectation based on previous behavior, previous cycles. However, recently, as in very recently, last week, in fact this Monday morning, I've only just noticed this now, I've had a little look, we've had a pump signal generated on a weekly. Now we've never had that before, never actually had it before, not on the Binance chart anyway, so this goes back into 2018. So this is the very first time we've actually seen a signal generated like this. For those who wonder what I'm talking about, we've got a green portion of the cloud here, price closed above the cloud, cheeky span above the cloud as well, and a cross, which took place around here. So 4 components to a pump signal on a weekly. Now because it is a weekly, it means it might take a little while for it to play. Could take several weeks, maybe even months really, for that pump signal to play, and it might require a deeper retest. You might see a retest of something like the 10 exponential, and by the way, this is a Bitcoin pair. I also wanted to bring this to your attention really to show you that this was the May 2021 peak for XRP. Recognize this on the chart. So we're talking April, May. That was the peak there. $2 more or less. So recognize the size of this, the difference between Bitcoin pair and XRP pair. That is not far at all from where we are right now. We're talking about, and again, we're talking Bitcoin pairs here. So we're thinking, all right, from here to here, that's only another 53% move before it reaches its previous all-time high versus Bitcoin. So you might think, well, why are you bother doing, and what's the point in showing me that? Well, it's because it would be not a new all-time high, but it would be a significant move for XRP. It would have basically outperformed Bitcoin at that point with another 53% move right now. It would outperform Bitcoin from, who's who you're going to be buying, from the peaks. Now, obviously, we're 53% away from that, but with a signal like this, quite powerful, and also on top of that, the trend on all time frames is significant and strong. It's looking good, I have to say, on all these time frames. Again, this is just a Bitcoin pair, so don't get too don't misinterpret what I'm trying to say here. This is an uptrend. This is a strong uptrend. It's still an uptrend. It's consolidating from its most recent peak, and it's trying its hardest to move back up on every single time frame that we look at, really. I wouldn't really get too afraid or scared of it. I like the look of it. It looks really good. So let's take it back to the weekly on this Bitcoin pair here, and just try and dissect what we're looking at, because this is where the signal's been generated. So this is the time frame that we should look at, and all these moving averages and anything that we see on the weekly is what we should focus on. So when it comes to the money flow index, it's not as high as it could have been. There's your May 2021, right up there at 80. We're still down here. November 18, a peak around there. Again, it doesn't like being too close to 80. We're currently just above 70. And the very, very biggest peak, January 2018, 96, which obviously makes a lot of sense for that. So we're pushing this 200 weekly moving average. Anyone who knows what that is recognizes that that's where the fun really begins, or where the fun ends. So if we were to reclaim this and remain above it, then this is where we start to trend up. You might see a chart like this start to perform like a chart like Solana or something like that, and people go, "What the heck happened?" And the XRP starts to run to the moon and actually becomes the crypto of choice. Crazier things have happened, especially when you're thinking about something that could effectively be breaking out of almost a 10-year pattern of behavior, with cycle after cycle after cycle remaining within these triangles. And it's only when we break out of these triangles do we start to go exceedingly high, massively high, absolutely super pump. So if we just have a think about what this really honestly means, this means a breakout from a cycle of cycles. And this means a complete change of behavior. And when you see a change of behavior like this, that's completely, I suppose, not expected, ripping aggressive moves can take place. So I could obviously use super clickbait on this. I could say XRP going to a new all-time high, which it might. Honestly, it might. You might think that that's completely unreasonable to say, but it could. We see all kinds of things moving 10x's, don't we? Or we used to back in the good old days. But we could easily see something like that. A 10x from here, that'll put Bitcoin, that'll put XRP up at $4.90. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but we are seeing changes of behavior. We've seen a signal here that we've never seen before on a weekly. We're also seeing the pushing of this descending triangle. Now, obviously, you would expect a rejection on here, so let's just take it for what it's worth. We should expect rejection as the market, generally moves as one. But if for whatever reason we do break out of this triangle, so we're talking about breaking out into the 50, anywhere in the 60s, really, things are going to get particularly interesting. And we could be looking for a major breakout back up to our previous high, $2, and maybe our previous all-time high. But again, it's all super duper hopium for you there. But I just wanted to put it to your attention that things are definitely different for this coin than all the other coins. And we'll wait and see if this pump signal plays on the weekly. They usually have about a 70% chance of playing, but because it is a weekly, you might be waiting a little while. Again, I'm a big sort of hodler of XRP. I'm not looking to buy any XRP at this level, given what I've seen. I own more than enough of it, but I like what I see, especially in a market which is generally trending pretty nasty. As I still am expecting the everything drop at this point now. The last bounce before the drop was pretty pathetic. Glad I didn't play it really, because the crash is the most important thing to take away from that. So now let's just wait and see what normal price action does for all these other cryptos and Bitcoin, of course. But if there's something that definitely does look different, a diversifier, if you want to call it that, it's XRP. And crazier things have happened than a 10x in a bear market, trust me. But we'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. If you want to join the Patreon, we're doing a live stream tonight. Otherwise, have a nice day. Take it easy.